Hey everyone, welcome. So today, we're going to dive into some of the small details of American English that can make a huge difference in how you communicate professionally. You can think of it like this. We're adding some super powerful new tools to your communication toolkit, ones that are going to make your language even more precise and sound really natural.
So let me ask you this. Can one single, tiny word really change the entire meaning of a sentence? Oh, you bet it can. Absolutely. Today, we're going to see exactly how these small linguistic changes can have a huge effect on clarity, especially when you're in a business setting.
And I want to be really clear about something right from the start. This is not about fixing mistakes. Filipino English is a completely valid and rich dialect. What we're focusing on here is mastering the art of code switching. Basically, learning how to align your communication with American English standards when you're in an international business environment. It's a skill, not a correction.
Okay, let's get right into it with our first topic, that little definite article, the. This word is honestly a powerhouse, and knowing exactly when to use it, and just as importantly, when to lose it, is absolutely key.
Okay, so here's a phrase I bet you've heard, maybe even said, a bunch of times at the office. It seems totally fine, right? But believe it or not, a tiny little tweak here can make a world of difference to an American English speaker.
So here's the deal. In American English, you can think of the word the as a spotlight. It points to one specific thing that we all already know about. If I say the report, I mean that one specific report we were just talking about, not just any old report.
And check this out. This slide lays it out perfectly. Saying check the email implies there's one specific, important email everyone is waiting for. But if you're just talking about the general act of looking at your inbox, the much more natural way to say it is check my email. You see that subtle shift? It's small, but it changes the meaning.
And here's another classic you'll probably hear right around noon. It's perfectly understandable, but again, a small adjustment will make it sound so much more natural.
You know what? The logic here is pretty much the same. Unless you're talking about a very specific lunch that's been catered for everyone, the lunch, you're usually just talking about the general activity of getting a meal for yourself.
So the fix is super simple. You just drop the completely. I'll just get lunch. This little change signals you're talking about a routine action, not a big specific event. It's such a minor edit, but it has a major impact on how natural you sound.
All right, let's move on to our second key adjustment. And we're tackling something that is super common, one that even trips up advanced speakers, the one of plural rule. This is one of those rules that once you really get it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Getting this right is a huge fluency marker. So picture this. You're introducing an amazing teammate, and you want to give them some praise. This is a very common way to do it. The sentiment is spot on, but the grammar has a little quirk. And trust me, once you see the logic behind this, you are never going to unsee. Okay, but what's the logic here? Well, it's actually super simple when you break it down. The phrase one of literally means you're picking a single item from a larger group of items, right? You can't be one of a thing if there's only one. It has to be a group, and a group, by definition, has more than one thing in it. It's plural. That's why the noun that represents that group must always be plural.
And here it is, the fix in action. He isn't one of your good colleague, he is one of your good colleagues, plural. And this rule applies to everything, not just people. It's one of the best reasons. It's one of my favorite movies. As soon as you lock into that idea of picking one thing from a larger group, the rule just clicks and becomes second nature.
Okay, that was a lot, but some really useful stuff. Let's do a super quick recap just to make sure these 3 key adjustments stick so you can start using them right away.
This table right here just puts it all together for us side by side. So for the general action of checking your messages, we're shifting from the email to my email. For just grabbing a meal, we drop the completely and just say, get lunch. And finally, whenever you use that phrase one of, the noun that comes after it has to be plural, like one of my colleagues. So here's the big takeaway, right? These aren't just some boring random grammar rules you have to memorize. They're actually powerful strategic tools. Mastering them helps you communicate with way more precision and clarity, and it makes your professional English sound incredibly fluent and natural, no matter the setting.
And with that, we're just about wrapped up, but I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. What other little language details, just like these, have you started to notice in your own daily conversations? Keep an ear out for them. Because really, becoming a curious observer of language, that's the secret sauce. That's the fastest way to becoming an incredible communicator. Thanks for joining me.